This is Robert Kraft, and I'm your host on SNN Network. And joining me right now is James Tu. He is the chairman and CEO of Energy Focus. It's a publicly traded company. The symbol is EFOI on NASDAQ. James, thank you for joining me today. How you doing?
Thank you, Robert. Thanks for the invitation and great to be here.
No, it's great. It's great to have you on. And, I got to say, you just did a presentation at our event back at the beginning of August. It's been a couple months since then. And also, this happens to be the first time we're ever doing an interview style kind of like this, and so I'd love to, I'd love to start. What?
I can be me.
You can,
right.
If you could be, we might go all day because we might just have too much fun here. Right, but we digress. So let's start off with a very quick overview and history of the company, and then we'll go from there.
Sure.
Okay.
So as you know, the company has been there since 1986. So it's been always a leader in advanced lighting research and development. It was focusing on fiber optic before we start turning to LED lighting. We started the LED lighting technology development with the U.S. Navy. We won a $10 million DARPA contract, Defense Advanced Research Lab grant to develop the next generation lighting for the U.S. Navy. And since then, we have been a very pretty much a primary LED lighting partner with the U.S. Navy. And we have branched out to the commercial lighting space since 2010 with a lot of very exciting, large, mission-critical healthcare, higher education, government customers. And I think the biggest story this year for the company is that we launched this InFocus lighting control platform. That could introduce lighting controls into existing buildings at a cost and the time at a fraction of anything out there in the market today. So we're very excited about that. We have got great receptions from the early customers and people that we presented the products to, from our customers to channel partners. And so we're very excited about that. Obviously, we got the elephant in the room, which is the COVID-19 that's impacting the commercial markets today. A lot of projects are being held up, and facility managers are not paying their attention to, for example, upgrading their buildings. Right now, they are trying to keep their facilities safe. So obviously, that impacted the immediate all the interest in all that, but we know that once the people start getting back to the normal normal budget cycle, they would be really embracing this solution as part of their upgrades. But this is also the reason why we, since the beginning of the year, we have been focusing our engineering development resources on the UV product lines, and which we have told in the past few months that we will be launching in the fourth quarter and this year. And so we're right in the beginning of the fourth quarter. So we're still on track, and we hope to be able to introduce these very impactful solution portfolio for UV disinfection in literally the next few weeks. And
so let's dig in on that a little bit. I was going to ask you about that a little bit later, but let's go right now. So tell us a little bit about these UV products that the company has been developing that you've previously announced you look to introduce in the fourth quarter. Why is this such a big deal for the company?
Yeah, obviously, in many ways, actually, several ways. One is that we know lighting, right? And UV, although the spectrum of the light is different than the visible light, it's still lighting. It is still electromagnetic wave. And so we know how to deal with lighting. And when COVID-19 hits, we feel that that's basically on the top of the mind of our customer, right? I mean, if you ask all the facility managers, first priority, second priority, third priority is about safety, is about sort of biosecurity. How do I make sure the facilities are safe so the occupants are willing to come back, right? And so we know that we can leverage our strength, our understanding, our years and decades of proven capabilities in lighting to develop products in this new, basically a completely new market that was not there before. The UV disinfection has been, I'm talking about especially UVC. That's where the frequency at the 254 nanometer that has been proven over the decades to disinfect, to basically deactivate the viruses, right?
Including COVID?
Including COVID,
Okay.
And so we know it's proven science. So how do we incorporate that to produce useful products that people can, our same customers, right? Facility managers are using lighting that will have the same demand for these products. So that's what we try to do right when COVID-19 hit. Fortunately, at that time we just finished our InFocus technology development, so we are able to devote a lot of our engineering resources into that, and we want to take a portfolio approach. And the reason is that when you look at a facility manager of our customer, a typical customer, let's say a healthcare facility, how do I disinfect the facility, right? You have to disinfect the air. You also have to disinfect the surface, right? So there are different type of applications that we try to come up with that can meet the demand of and the needs of facility management functions. And so that's when we started doing that. The first application we immediately go after is a InFocus powered UV disinfection general lighting troffer. And what that means is that basically you go to all these institutional buildings, again, our typical customer, schools, healthcare, commercial properties. You see all these 2x2, 2x4 fluorescent or LED fixtures or troffers. They light up basically 70–80% of the spaces in all institutional buildings. There are estimated 1 billion of these 2x2, 2x4 fixtures, fluorescent fixtures in the US alone. And in the world, it's probably close to 5 billion, right? So these fixtures are there already. So, and we just introduced InFocus, which enable us to control the lighting, through a simple change of the switch and the lamps, right? So we started developing InFocus powered lighting troffer, and that will be the first product we're going to be launching. We have other products that, again, following the thread of plan to help facilities disinfect their spaces. We are developing a whole portfolio of solutions for that. But the first product very immediately is to go to a school, and they don't have to get experts and designers to design the space to put in
Right.
something that they don't understand. Instead, they can put in the troffer, replace the troffer they already have, and with our troffer, and the troffer will provide highest quality of lighting, which is flicker-free, dimmable, and color tunable, right? That's already the highest quality of lighting that most spaces don't have today. Then you're gonna have the UV capability where there's a fan that's actually built into the troffer that draw air into the fan and disinfect the air. 99.9% of the viruses falling through the air. And it could be on because it's when people are inside, because it's a completely enclosed chamber, so people are not exposed to the UVC light. So it will be running when people are inside the rooms, right? And that's
Right.
that's the most immediate thing that people could do to disinfect the space.
So James, two-part question for you. So I want to do like a competitive comparison. I'm assuming this is from what you're telling me, there's a big opportunity here. to
I mean,
address.
yeah. Yeah,
You know,
exactly.
You know,
I believe that this is, even if COVID-19 recedes, people's awareness of pandemic risks,
right.
sanitary and hygiene standards are now much higher. So,
Well,
yeah.
so I didn't mean to cut you off, but I'm curious as to a competitive comparison. You know, right now, are there any other companies out there that are currently selling a UV industrial product?
Yes.
And what kind of results are you seeing? And is that why you're like, all right, well, let's develop
Yeah.
our own. We know
Yeah.
lighting. Let's just do it ourselves. Why not?
Yeah, of course. They are, and most of these products were developed before COVID-19, right? So you can imagine before COVID-19, most of these products are being used in truly, mission critical, spaces. What I mean by that is, for example, hospital operating rooms where you need extremely high level of sanitation and hygiene, right? That's when you use these products. So these products are, because they are very niche products, they're priced very, very expensively, right? Because they serve a very different purpose. It's not for everyday use, right? And because the market is small, they couldn't scale, right? So their price performance is very, very high, right? Price to performance ratio, I mean. While I think when COVID-19 hit, this completely changed the landscape. Now you can see the needs for sanitation, for disinfection in literally all the spaces where people mingle with each other, right? Especially in institutional buildings. You can argue that you want to have a disinfection capability in your home too, but the chances are most likely you are with people you know, right? So maybe you could put some disinfection in your living room when people visit your home, but in institutional buildings, you always have strangers in the space, right? People that are coming out of nowhere and they get together and large gatherings, right? And so these are the spaces that actually now need disinfection much more than before. So suddenly you are looking at a market that is not 10 times, but maybe 100, maybe 1,000 times of the market before, right? Because they are now looking at all the spaces as I talk about, there are billion of these 2x2, 2x4 fixtures in all the institutional buildings. And that's basically all the buildings, all the spaces now probably have that demand, right? The question is, can the facility afford such solutions, right? So when we look at this market, it's a completely different market. You could argue that this could be an even much bigger market than the lighting industry. Again, it's too early to tell because there are not a lot of products out there yet, right? So the addressable demand is not being addressed, right? And so when you look at the competitive landscape, we're competing with mostly all these legacy products. And so we're able to use the latest technology. And with the Trover product I talked about, we are able to leverage in focus, which is not only the latest, but also the best in the lighting industry to provide lighting controls. And our costs will be really a fraction of similar things out there, right? A similar, I can tell you that, a similar Trover that provide the kind of functionality in the market today is over $1,000, $2,000 even. Some of them are $2,500 per 2x2, 2x4 fixture. Ours will be, say, less than $500, right? So it's a order of magnitude cheaper.
Right. And James, another quick question, just to kind of wrap up, the UV product conversation here. What has it been tested? Can you test it?
No,
have you tested your products? Like, how does that work?
Yes. So when we design the product, we design specifically to make sure that the disinfection will achieve 99.9% or above level, and it will have to be certified by third-party, lab, right? So when we launch these products, this is why some of these things take time, because you need the third-party lab to test them, right? But we know when we design them, they can achieve that level of disinfection, right? as to, you know, how much disinfection impact we can make for a particular room, that obviously is subject to other factors like how many people are in the room, how big in the room, and all that. But when we designed the chauffeur, and that's the beauty about using the InFocus control platform, because now we can go into a room and we know pretty much typically a 2x4 fixture covers about 100 square feet, right? Now we can design that in mind. So, you know, we like to achieve, say, 2 air changes per hour, right? So the air will, you know, circulate twice in an hour in a space of, say, 100 square feet with 9-foot ceiling, right? So we know we can, you know, circulate 1,800 cubic feet of air in an hour, and that's how we design the system, right? So it's pretty scientific, and obviously you still need to be certified by a third-party lab, and but we're very confident that it will achieve that result that we have designed it for. Yeah.
Very good. All right. Well, you know, I want to wrap up this interview by let's give everybody your background. You know, how'd you come into the energy focused family?
Another hour.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was actually an analyst and portfolio manager for about 15 years, and I fall in love with the whole sustainability theme and love to get involved with companies. And I first invested in Energy Focus back in 2012. I became the chairman and CEO in 2013, May 2013, and we had I restructured the company at that time. The company was very focused on R&D before, and we had to start building some sales and marketing capabilities. And we started to grow the company, mainly on the back of the Navy opportunities at that time and some large commercial orders. I left the company between early 2017, and I came back to the company April 2019, and I restructured the company again at that time. And here we are. And I have to say that it's much more exciting now compared with a few years ago, because the whole lighting industry has gone through seismic changes. You look at the largest lighting companies, they are much smaller now. They all got sold. And because the whole commoditization of LED lighting has made this industry very hard to compete with, the Asian suppliers. But technologies have advanced so much so that I believe that the whole world of lighting is going through the third age, which are what we call human-centric lighting, right? It's where the lighting technology integrating with a lot of other exponential technologies like, electronics, software, sensor, and even cloud, to provide the impact to human health and well-being. And I think InFocus is a great example. It provides circadian lighting that at a fraction of cost, anything out there. So think about making students learn better, 20-30% better, making people more productive during the day and sleep better during the night. It's tremendous impact that will outpace, sort of the energy savings financially than the LED lighting had delivered so far over the past 10-15 years. Right, and UV is another great example. How do you impact human safety, right, through lighting and through the development of advanced designs and electronics, and so this whole age of human-centric lighting that Energy Focus love to be positioned as a leader is going to broaden the lighting market a lot bigger, and provide very exciting growth in the coming years. And so that's a pretty good way to look at Energy Focus as a company. It is positioned as to be a leader in human-centric lighting.
Very good, and I think that's a great place to end it. And one final question that's really important. How's my lighting? Am I doing all right? I got a front light. I got an overhead light. You got good lighting right now.
I look like I'm in the prison cell. but you see, that's the thing, I'm in the office, right? Not in our office. And look at the lighting. That's fluorescent lighting, right?
Yeah.
I mean, how horrible it is, right?
Yeah.
And energy focused lighting, and then if you check our website, the lighting that we're providing, flicker free, dimmable, color tunable, that's gonna change people's life.
James, I just want a light that I can do, and it's on. That's all. That's what I really want. No, I'm just kidding. That's like that's like a 70s house kind of thing. But
that's part of a smart lighting. So we'll keep that in mind. Maybe we'll develop that for you.
That's human centric right there, But anyways, James, for my audience, where can they go and find everything they need to know about Energy Focus?
Oh, easy. Energyfocus.com.
Very good.
All right. We just updated our investor website, so it should be very easy to navigate. Very good. All right. Very good. Thank you very much, Robert.
James, thank you. Really appreciate you joining me today. Good luck. Stay safe. I look forward to our next update.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you.